Alright, you guys, welcome back to some more Hapymaher. We just finished up Yayoi's route, which was awesome. I think that was probably one of my favorite routes in a visual novel ever, and if that's the quality I can expect from Hapymaher, I think I'm going to be very happy. Like, I really feel like this game is already better than Chrono Clock in a lot of ways. Not that I, didn't like Chrono Clock, but I think just comparatively, I've really enjoyed Hapymaher more, so that makes me excited to see the rest of it. So we're going to be going through that. I'm just going to be kind of making some of the decisions. I might skip some of the dialogue in between. I know you get a little bit of new dialogue as I'm making new decisions. I'm going to try to keep anything that I feel like is really important in there as far as like the character goes, but I might skip some of the stuff leading up to that. We'll see. But for now, we need to make a decision. Who was I interested in? So before we did Yayoi, and then, we're going to be doing Saki later, but for now I didn't think of anyone. No one particularly came to mind. Myra gave a resigned smile and got down. That's just who we are. But, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a little bit of this dialogue. I know, I'm sorry, but I kind of want to just get a little bit closer to getting into the route this episode. Okay, going into chapter 4 here.
別に私のことなんて誰も知らない。だから私がどんな歌を歌おうが、らしいとからしくないとか思われることはない。だから私はその時々に歌いたいと思った歌を歌う。伝えたいことなんてない。ただ歌いたいだけだから。
Can't remember if we've heard this before.
一方通行上等。むしろ戻ってくるなんて勘弁してほしい。そんな私に話しかけてくる人がいる。そんな人たちに私は一つだけ聞きたいことがあった。ねえ、どうしたらあなたはゆっくり眠ることができるようになるんですか？
What can I do to help you sleep peacefully? Interesting dialogue. Okay, am I able to... Okay, I am able to skip from here, so we'll kind of see where this goes. Okay, next decision. So I did read the dialogue, in case you were wondering. I did read the dialogue that kind of changes as you select that you weren't interested in anybody, because it is a little bit different than if I had selected Yayoi. I believe last time when we selected Yayoi, she immediately appeared and we started talking to her. So there's this little bit of dialogue that happens, I guess, kind of in between that, with Maya talking about, she kind of compared things to tea, right? Like when you pour milk in tea, it's not really gone, it's just kind of mixed around, and then after you drink the tea, so she used condensed milk, there was a little bit of condensed milk still at the bottom, so she's saying, like, even though you erase the dream, it's still kind of there. So, chase after Maya, wow, okay, we could do that. We're gonna go with the key to a guitar case, because obviously we're going for Keiko, in case you hadn't gathered that. I grabbed the guitar case key I'd seen before. It was a small planned key without a keychain or anything. If my guess was correct, this had to be the key to Hirosaka's guitar case.
そう、それを選ぶのね。どうしてかしら。理由なんてないのかしら。それとも気になっちゃったのかしら。
Maya. Maya's gritting mouth disappeared, leaving only the sound of her teasing voice behind. Even if I extended my hand, I couldn't reach her now. More importantly, as soon as Maya was gone, the room looked like it would crumble at any minute. Will this even work? I hurriedly flew to the only decent door I could see, and there was no way I was going to fall down there. But I was holding a guitar case key. No matter how you looked at it, it didn't fit the lock on the doors. But if the room was collapsing, there was no time to wait. Please open. The size didn't match, so the key wouldn't really fit the lock. With the room collapsing, the sound of me panicking echoed even louder. Damn it. Ah! My hands were slippery, but I somehow got the key in. I turned the lock until I heard a click. Before the room crumbled completely, I somehow jumped through the doors. For a moment, I felt a floating sensation. When that ended, I was in front of the train station on a weeknight. And Hirosaka was singing again. The December air was cold, so I had my hands in my coat pockets as I gazed at her from a little ways away. Nothing caught my attention, but there was nothing out of the ordinary. Hirosaka's singing had quite the reputation. Just standing at the street corner for a guitar like this had caused a small crowd to gather. It was mostly office workers on their way home and young people like us. People smoking in a nearby smoking area seemed to be listening too. Then the sound of the guitar stopped. Hirosaka gave a small bow as the bystanders gave a light applause. Listeners tossed money into the guitar case in front of her and walked away. Nice work.
わあ、先輩、来てたんですね。
When I walked to Hirosaka's side, she looked a little relieved. When I mentioned it before, she insisted that she wasn't. But lately, when I went to her side, there were times when she certainly looked like it. Yeah, I was just out for a walk when I heard you singing. Incidentally, I'd been studying for upcoming exams. Finals would be starting next week. But I got tired from studying, so I was loitering around the town under the pretense of taking a walk, replenishing my coffee supply. Okay, did we do this? We had something similar happen, because I remember, I think it was around episode 9, we had like a coffee night. And the reusable bag I was holding there was about 5 cans of my favorite coffee. Want one? Took out a can and held it to
離
Hirosaka.
島は好きじゃありません。
Not sweet enough. Gosh, you sound like my wife. She likes it really sweet. I mean, I like a little bit of sweetness in there. I don't want it like, I don't know, bitter, I guess, but even this isn't enough. I thought the slightly sweetened coffee was still plenty sweet, but Hirosaka apparently had such a sweet tooth that she couldn't drink it unless it had both milk and sugar in it. I mean, so I like to make like a latte, so I'll just put like milk and whatever. And then I do a little bit of kind of like white chocolate syrup, I think is what it is. Something like that. It's whatever my wife likes to get, I just use it too. And how about this? But from the depths of the bag, I brought one more can. It was tea with condensed milk, a beverage I would certainly never drink myself. Hirosaka perked up in response.
なんで先輩は自分でそんな甘いの飲まないくせにそんなもの買ってるんですか？
Oh, I just bought it because I thought you might come hang out at my place today or tomorrow.
確かに今日あたり歌い終わったら行こうと思ってましたけど。
With a mildly irked look, Hirosaka took the can of tea from my hand. It had been under all the other cans of coffee, so it was still pretty warm.
いただきます。
You're welcome. I opened the can Hirosaka had refused and took a drink. For a while, we both sipped at our drinks in
と
silence.
ころで私が言うのもなんですけど、先輩はこんなところフラフラしてていいんですか？
What do you mean wandering
言っ
around?
たままの意味です。テスト来週からじゃないですか。またサボってたんですか？
Sounds like us. Wasn't slacking off. It was a walk for a change of pace. Also, I saw my girlfriend singing when she too had upcoming exams, so I got worried.
そうですか。
Wait, what's going on in this dream, eh, yo? Apparently, we're dating her. Nothing to worry about. That's what I thought she would say, but Hirosaka looked a little happy as she looked up at me with upturned eyes. Okay, so last time we had a coffee time, and we just kind of talked to her. We definitely didn't. We're not dating her. Her expression made my heart skip a beat.
その心配をかけてるのは悪いと思うんですが、私は歌ってないとダメなんです。
You have to sing, huh? I know, but like I said, exams are starting soon. She was singing in a place like this even though exams were starting next week. You know, Hirosaka, you're the kind of grasshopper and the ants in the grasshopper. I said suddenly after seeing Hirosaka singing in the cold. Hirosaka's expression didn't change.
私がキリギリスなら、その歌を聴いていた先輩は何ですか？アリなのに働いてないんですか？
Yeah, you're not working even though you're an ant. I actually know this story, and I know this story just because my daughter has listened to this song many, many times. You know, the grasshopper was just playing his fiddle all day while the ants were working, and then the ants ended up bringing the grasshopper in because he didn't store anything for winter. A reference I can understand in one of these games. I'm so happy.
サボっているアリよりも人生を楽しんでるんじゃないでしょうか。
I don't know. Maybe the story I'm thinking of a very much a children's story. I mean, the actual story I probably don't know too well. I just know the Cocoa Melon version. Hirosaka gave a light chuckle through her nose. I'm so glad my daughter doesn't like to watch those anymore. I hated those.
大丈夫なんですか？
That's my line. Even if I'm an ant who isn't working, the grasshopper dies in the winter because it didn't collect any food, right? Oh yeah, so the actual story's a lot sadder. in the children's video, they're like, "Oh yeah, come on in, ant. Just make sure to prepare next time, right?" The ant could at least survive by mooching off its fellow ants. Of course, if it got abandoned by those ants, then it would
あ
die.
あ、大丈夫ですよ。
You'll be fine. You really do talk like the
いえ、
grasshopper.
あんな根拠のない自信で投資した虫と一緒にされるのは心外なんですが、以前学園長がおじだから見逃されてるという話はしたと思います。
Yeah, you
け
did.
どこういうことをしていても見逃されてるのって多分それだけじゃないんですよ。
Don't tell me your grades are hopelessly bad.
逆です。私基本的に成績は学年上位ですし、いくつかの科目ではトップですから。
What the?
何ですかそのわざとらしい驚き方は。
Not an act. The top, huh?
成績も8位以下なんて取ってませんし。
Grades at Tsukio were given on a 1 through 10 scale. Naturally, the higher the number, the better the grade. That's not just subjects you're good at, is it?
全部ですけど。
Hirosaka said casually. I doubted Hirosaka would lie like that, but nothing lower than an 8? Did that mean her average were 9s and 10s? That's amazing, Hirosaka.
ですから文句も言えないじゃないでしょうか。
Yeah, I don't think they could complain. Certainly if she had an 8 or higher in all subjects and she was a school president's niece, as long as she wasn't particularly breaking a school rule, there was no reason for them to scold her for singing on the
つい
street.
でに言うと、もう大学受験のための勉強や資格も取り始めてますから。
Eh? Hirosaka, you're in the same grade as Saki, right? 2 grades below me. I felt like it was a little early to be thinking about going to college.
そうですけど何か。
You're in Annex 3rd year. Shouldn't you be studying to enter the main school first? Although it was already the 2nd semester of her 3rd year, so she was probably in the final stretch of those
もう
studies.
学校側が香港にぜひ来てくれって言ってますから。
Wow, okay, they want you to enter early? Well, there are plenty of other schools more elite than Tsukio. It would certainly be possible to change schools when she was done with the annexed, and with her grade, she could probably get a
なん
recommendation.
でしたら科目次第では先輩の勉強くらいなら見られると思いますよ。
Well, that... Just a while ago, I'd been worried about my underclassmen girlfriend singing on the street. Yet now she was offering to help me
どう
study.
します？
When she said that, I... For the time being, are you coming to my place now?
そうですね、そのつもりでしたし。
Hirosaka threw her empty can into a trash can. That was a nice clang as the can fell inside. The cold breeze was tormenting us as we got to the
先
apartment.
輩、シャワーは浴びてこなくていいんですか？
I'll take one before bed.
いえ、私が。
A conflicted feeling passed through my mind, but I'm not letting you stay the night tonight. Hirosaka gave a look of dissatisfaction. We have school tomorrow. What were you planning to do even if you didn't bring a clean uniform?
確かにそうなんですけど。
Hirosaka pouted. There was no way I could let her
ま
stay.
あ、とりあえず見た限り、先輩も真面目に勉強していたようですけど。
Hirosaka said as she looked at the study material spread out on my desk. Unlike you in club press, I'm just a normal student. I have to study seriously before tests. The arts were my worst subjects, and even though I wasn't as bad as at it as Saki was at science, I could never relax before a
今やっ
test.
てたのは古文ですか。これなら得意な分野ですし、お手伝いできると思いますよ。
Hirosaka picked up the open textbook. Hirosaka, you don't really look like the type who's fond of studying.
別に好きなわけではないですが、必要なことでしたから。
Why did she need to do it? I thought I knew the reason, but for some reason I didn't know what it was anymore.
けれど、これは。
I figured she looked over my answers when we got here, but Hirosaka made a sour face as she looked at my past homework
も
papers.
しかしなくても、先輩古文苦手なんですか？
Damn, it's that easy for her to tell at a glance. I'm fundamentally bad at subjects that can't be solved with numbers. I didn't do accounting and drafting in the science club for nothing. I could do it, but I was good at it, so I had accepted it.
そうですか。
Hirosaka seemed to be thinking as she looked at my desk. So what do you need to study,
そ
Hirosaka?
れは当然。行きたい大学があるからです。
Okay, I know exactly why it changed right there. She needs to study for her father's approval. Something along those lines. Like, that's not necessarily 100%. But it's something to do with her father, I believe. I think her father pushes her to do certain things. And I think because this is like a dream or whatever, I think that got changed. There's a college I want to go to. Yeah, my father, no, my father's great. It hears like I really tried to say. It hears like I really tried to say that just now. I felt like something strange had happened. I knew that the reason for that, but why did it weigh on my mind? I knew that too.
先輩、相談があるんです。
You want to talk about? Okay, what's that? Hirosaka's voice brought me back to
先輩
senses.
は私よりも2年早く卒業してしまいますよね。
Well, I am 2 grades above you after all.
その後も一緒にいたいと思うのはダメですか？
What are you saying? I want to be with you too, of
よ
course.
かった。
Hirosaka looked relieved, but I doubted that was all she wanted to talk to me about. You wanted to ask me something that obvious?
いえ、違います。そうじゃなくて、先輩は行きたい大学とかないんですか？
Haven't really thought about it yet, although I've been told that I should go to college, so I'm thinking maybe I'll go to a science one.
なら、私が行こうかと思って勉強している大学があるんですけれど、そこで待っていてもらうわけにはいきませんか？
Hey, sorry to say this when you're saying it so apologetically, but I couldn't even get accepted by the sort of college. But could I even get accepted by the sort of college you want to go
理
to?
系なら、まあ、なんとか目はあると思いますけど。
A chance, huh? Like I keep saying, having my 2 years younger annex campus girlfriend talk to me about college like this was... I couldn't express it.
私も、もともとあまり上を目指すわけではなくて、推薦で行こうと思っていた程度ですから。
I see.
嫌ですか？
It's not that I don't want to, but by the time you enter the school, I'll be a 3rd year, right? Won't I be job hunting at that point?
すんなり決まるといいですね。
Wait, that's not the point.
というか、先輩はハスノさんの会社に入るんじゃないんですか？
Yeah? Why do you think that?
そのつもりだって、ハスノさんと高原さんに聞いたんですが。
I could definitely see Toru doing that. I think he would be the kind of guy that would just kind of accept that opportunity, which is... I'm not saying anything bad about that. I just think he is the kind of person that would just kind of go along with that. If they offered him a job and he was interested in it and he was a good fit, he would just kind of go with the flow there. What have they been talking about when I wasn't there? Well, it was true that ever since I started dating Hirosaka Takahara-san, I've been taking had been excessively good to me, you could say.
そうやって先輩の就職先も決まっていれば、私も安心ですし。
Your family is rich. I don't think you have to worry that much. After saying that, my vision got blurry for a second. Something was wrong. Had been wrong for a while now. Hirosaka, you're planning on going to that college by recommendation, aren't you?
ええ、そうですけど。
Then why are you studying and getting qualifications?
それは。
And why do you sing so much? Hirosaka caught her breath. Your family is... Huh? Why? Come to think of it, the time you stayed here, you also... Hirosaka, you... Something was wrong. Her singing her guitar. Why was she doing so much? She didn't hate studying, but she said she had to do it. Hirosaka, what? Somehow or other. I felt like I found the words I needed to say. What do you think of your family?
どうって、私は別に。
The fog in my mind seemed to clear away. You haven't reconciled with your father, have you? I noticed that we hadn't touched on that subject for a while now. It was like she was just an honor student who loved singing, who wasn't worried about her family at all. If that was true, then Hirosaka would have been able to smile much more often. However, this is a dream where that stuff doesn't exist, isn't it? Suddenly in my room in Hirosaka, a sense of reality faded from them as though they were drawings on paper. The world collapsed as if melting into the air. Okay, so we got out of the dream, huh? Reality dreams. The next thing I knew, I'd fallen into this room. I was standing in front of the doors just like how I was always when coming into this room, but this time I was unable to remain on my feet and collapsed onto my hands and knees. It says we can skip to selection. So I'm assuming like it's always going to take me to kind of dialogue I haven't seen. So we'll have to see. Okay, so this is gonna kind of take us to something new. Sorry, I'm trying not to spend too much time on the in-between stuff. There was a face I suddenly thought of. Before I could say anything, Maya looked at me and smiled.
まあいいわ。私がとやかく言うことじゃないし。それに、もうきちんと分かっ
We're just gonna skip a selection here. The area in front of the train station had been elaborately decorated in preparation for Christmas. Okay, so we're back in like that Christmas dream. I assumed that her route was gonna kind of branch off from there, considering like she played such a big role in like this whole Christmas scenario. So hopefully I'm on the right track here. The area in front of the train station had been elaborately decorated in preparation for Christmas. Once it got dark, the trees would be lit and the holiday atmosphere would be complete. Although the town was decked out and had a festive air about it, Hirosaka played her guitar with a bored look on her face.
寒いです。
Why even go outside? I was sitting on the bench next to her, sipping at my hot coffee. Despite us being on break from school, Hirosaka still wore her uniform, and she had brought her guitar with her, as usual. It looked like she wasn't going to sing today, since she had just been strumming her guitar.
いいえ。こんなわけのわからない状況ですから。歌わないとやってられません。
You really like to sing, don't you?
好きです。こればかりは胸を張って言えます。
I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with wanting to sing. I think if you have the talent and you enjoy it, might as well. With a deep breath, Hirosaka finally started singing in tune with the guitar as though she was trying to adjust the instrument. Also, I'm not saying you have to be talented to sing. Just to clarify there, like, you don't have to be talented. I sing all the time, and I'm not. I sound terrible. Hirosaka sounded off in such a manner that it almost sounded like she was tuning her voice and not just that of the guitar. If I'm in your way, I can leave. I pointed the way we'd come, suggesting that I could leave before Hirosaka started singing, but she shook her head and stopped
い
singing.
え、別に。気にしないでください。
But I'm hindering your singing, aren't I?
きちんと歌う気はありませんから。ちょっと気晴らしに外に出て、鼻歌程度に歌ってるだけです。
Sounds like you're jamming. Is that what it's called when you're just kind of, you know, rocking out? You're just kind of feeling it, you know? You're vibing. Well, judging by Hirosaka's personality, she'd probably outright tell me if I was in the way, so I decided to stay
む
here.
しろお兄様も物好きですね。なんで寒い中私についてきたんですか？
I got worried because you were silently going off somewhere on your
そう
own.
ですか。別にほっといてくれてもよかったんですけど。
She plucked out the guitar strings. Am I in your way because you wanted to be
い
alone?
え、別に。お兄様ならいてくれて構いませんし。
I find it kind of hard to believe you if you sigh right after
呼び
saying
方
that.
のせいですよ。何を土地狂ったのか。よりによってお兄様だなんて呼び方をしなくてもいいと
Oh
思い
yeah,
ます。
this is right where older girls are calling. They're all my little sisters right now. We were raised well, so you can't help it, right? Although she had said it herself just a little while ago, when I said it, she glared at me. Can't you change it by yourself somehow? Like Club Press switched off pretty skillfully, didn't she? She normally called me Toru-ni, but in front of acquaintances, she called me Toru-ni-sama. Her facade was pretty close to perfect, right down to her
あ
attitude.
あ、そうですね。まったく。私もあれくらい猫をかぶるのがうまければ、他の呼び方ができるのかもしれません。
I also like that we're kind of going into Keiko's route right after Yayoi. I really like kind of the idea that you guys gave me for this route recommendation. Because if you think about it, these two were always kind of bickering and fighting, and they're maybe in a way competing. I'm not too sure. They had a very interesting dynamic, to say the least. Like, there was times when I'm like, oh, I could see them, like, getting together. I think somebody made a comment about shipping those two together, so I'm like, oh, I can kind of see that. I could see at times why you would want to do that. Other times they're kind of more like sisters. Other times they're like rivals. They've had a lot of different interactions with each other. I really like their dynamic. Sometimes they're like at each other's throats, and sometimes they seem like they're kind of good friends that really try to go out of their way to care for each other. So I think it's gonna be interesting, kind of going into Keiko's route right after Yayoi's and kind of seeing the contrast there. But it looked like Alice was capable of not calling me her brother, so it might just be a case of how much influence one had in the dream.
年考えろって思います。自分の方が年上だし、どう見ても妹ってタイプじゃないくせに。
It's true, Club Prez is more like a big sister than a little one. Yeah, she's pretty big in some ways. But it's one of the rules of the dream, so it can't be helped. Club Prez isn't calling me that because she wants to, either. Probably. Club Prez did look like she was enjoying it, so I couldn't be too confident in saying that she wasn't. You're calling me that too, so you should cut her a break.
そうですね。不本意ですが。
Well, I'm sure you don't like having to call me that, I'm sorry. Suddenly being made into someone's little sister would make anyone want to complain, wouldn't it?
いえ、別にお兄様が兄であることはそんなに嫌ではないんですけど。
That sounds kind of sus, considering I'm sure you are developing feelings. I'm relieved to hear that.
本当に。私、昔から兄弟なら兄が欲しかったんです。
Yeah, that's kind of the other thing that's interesting, because we're mentioning Yayoi kind of being the big sister character. I feel like if anybody, Hirosaka is definitely the little sister, you know? And Saki too. Saki could be kind of little sister, but Saki has more of a just kind of like a... She has the kind of personality where she can kind of be on her own, so it doesn't really surprise me. I think Hirosaka is the one that wants somebody to kind of rely on and look up to in life. Whether she admits that or not.
自分が長女ですから親にねだるのはやめましたけど。
You don't want a little brother or sister.
はい。下は面倒を見るのが面倒です。
I see. So Hirosaka wanted a big brother by process of elimination. I wondered how she'd react to a big sister, but after seeing Hirosaka with Club Prez, I get the feeling I knew what that would be like. Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing, like, sometimes you could see them as just being, like, sister characters, you know? They kind of have that dynamic at times. But that Oni-sama name, it really did sound like something a well-raised young lady would say.
私、一応そのカテゴライズに含まれてるんですが。
That's
そう
true.
扱わないでくれるのは嬉しいんですけど、少しイラッとしますね。
You don't seem like one at all. When I heard young lady, I thought of Saki. Was that because she was so close to me? Or it might be because they call her Milady at the
これで
company.
も私、ピアノや日本舞踊に生け花も習ってるんですけど、着物の着付けだってできますよ。
Sorry, you don't look like it at all. I had seen her reading sheet music before. I thought she might be able to play instruments or other than the guitar, but traditional Japanese dance and flower arranging were pretty far removed from my mental image of Hirosaka.
だから、着物を脱がされても自分で着付け直せるんですよ。
What are you implying here? Hirosaka stared at me such that I couldn't easily tell what she was thinking. Normally a young lady like you wouldn't say something so
そうで
suggestive.
すね。今のはわざとやってるんですけど。
You're right, I said it on purpose. Why would you say something like that? Why wouldn't the girls around me let me dream? I mean, it was my fault for imagining taking a kimono off Hirosaka and thinking that was pretty
お
nice.
しとやかな。いかにも大和なでしこなお嬢様がお兄様の好みなんですか。
I don't know, I kind of dislike that, I guess. Ladylike types aren't really made me feel like I was causing them to be too conscientious towards me. So I dislike that a little.
そうですよね。お兄様は女の人に虐げられて苦労をかけられて喜ぶタイプみたいですし。
Well, perfect. That's every girl in this game. They all torment me. Even the ones that I'm not dating, like Asahi. No, that's not true. Certainly, I would rather have someone cause trouble for me than cause trouble for
ほ
them.
んと、お兄様は人よしですね。
Hirosaka laughed softly through her nose and continued strumming her guitar. I didn't know what more to say, so I ended up making a sour face.
今日はどうにも調子が悪いですね。
I didn't know whether it was because I was in the way or if I had nothing to do with it. I guess she didn't feel like singing because she sped up her guitar playing. I was familiar with the original song, but it wasn't a song meant to be played this fast. There were parts where notes were skipped or missed, but she played it all so well that it seemed like trivial matters. That's pretty amazing.
そうですか。 地面に練習していないからあちこち音が飛んでますけど。
You don't practice. She didn't seem like she was that serious about it, so I thought it was kind of amazing that she could play it like that. Hirosaka didn't boast, nor did she look particularly
ギ
enthusiastic.
ターは嫌いじゃないですけど仕方なく弾いてる楽器ですからどうにも思い入れがないんです。
Wonder what she means by out of necessity.
本当は歌だけ歌いたいんですけどアカペラはしっくりこなくてそれで選んだ楽器がギターなんです。
Interesting.
本当はピアノの方が得意なんですけどキーボードって持ち運びが不便じゃないですか。
I wish I was just, like, oh, I'd rather be singing, but I'm not good enough, so I'll just have to play the guitar. I wish I could say that, I can't play anything, I can't sing. There's a lot of things I can't do. Hirosaka was no longer paying attention to her guitar, she was just talking to me like she always did. For guitars and other instruments really things that you could play out of necessity. My only experience with instruments were at classes at school, but I didn't think they were that easy. As I was thinking that, Hirosaka started moving her fingers again. Apparently she still did have fun playing her guitar. I think she enjoys it, and I would imagine that she kind of felt pressured, I guess, to do it from her father, just her family circumstances. I think she had to kind of be someone who was talented in multiple things. Well-played songs came one after the other. I followed Hirosaka's gaze, and she saw that she was looking at the big monitor in front of the station. Ads for groups of singers followed by the electric signboard. Flowed. Oh, I totally read that wrong. Ads for groups of singers flowed by on the electric signboard above us. I was like, why does this sentence make no sense to me? It was a local advertisement for the Christmas concert they'd be doing in the live stage at the nearby park this Christmas. Apparently Hirosaka had been playing the songs of participants of that concert. More people than usual had stopped to listen to Hirosaka's guitar. Though some were standing a bit far away, maybe Hirosaka's playing really was amazing.
あれ今年の水郷ライブってこんなに豪華なメンバーでしたっけ。
Hirosaka murmured without stopping. I wonder. I don't know who was originally scheduled, so I'm not sure.
急にシカケンが奮発したんでしょうかね。普段ならソロでクリスマスライブを開いてる人たちが結構います。
There were performers I was familiar with among them too. Looked like they'd be gathering and doing a Christmas concert in Tsukio City. You're really knowledgeable about that as well. Until she had said something I hadn't noticed at all.
ええ、一応音楽は好きですから。
She started playing the guitar even faster. But she herself didn't look any different. Looked like you're having fun.
歌ってる間はそれだけで良くなりますから。
I think there's a lot of things people could say that about life. Like, you go to a place when I'm doing blank, It feels like everything's okay. I think for some people that's video games. Some people that's singing. I don't know. There's a lot of things.
歌なら反抗的なことをどれだけ言っても誰も文句言いませんし。
That is true. I'm glad she kind of pointed that out. Like, have you ever just like listened to some songs, really listened to the lyrics? You're like, wow, this person needs help. Especially like all those kind of like more emo type songs. It's really funny, like kind of. I mean, like watching an interview with that person, like outside of their music, when they sing about a lot of like sad stuff or like hating the world or this or that, and then you just listen to them talk and they sound completely normal, not like they have any of those problems, but maybe they do. Maybe they're just really good at hiding them. Could it be that you like rock?
いいですね、ロックンロール。
It just seems so appropriate that I laughed.
お兄様、何か文句あるんですか。
No, not at all. Yes, rock and roll is nice.
何か含みを感じますけど、音楽をバカにしているみたいじゃないんで許します。
Yeah, I mean, I'm just more of a consumer of music than I am someone who likes to play it, so I would never make fun of music. I love music. Thanks for that. Hirosaka stopped playing when the advertisements ended. After some sparse clapping, a few small tips were tossed in the guitar case, which had been left open this time. Hirosaka bowed her head slightly and gathered up the change before putting her guitar in its case and standing
お
up.
兄様、やっぱり外寒いです。
Because you're dressed like that. Okay, we haven't seen this. Perfect.
そうなんですけど。
We talked to somebody
な
about
んでこんなに寒いんですか？
being cold because it's like everybody is just wearing these really like short skirts and not wearing winter appropriate clothing. I would imagine Japan gets pretty cold. I thought it was because it was winter, but today was especially cold even for that. Come to think of it, they were saying it's gonna snow on Christmas, so maybe that's why. Now that the advertisements had ended, the weather report was saying that it might start snowing the day before Christmas.
雪なんて降ったら面倒なのにホワイトクリスマスとか余計に面倒じゃないですか。
You don't like white Christmases, huh? Hirsaka, don't you say that's a little too salty of a thing for a student to
思
say?
いません。確かに雪は綺麗ですけど、わざわざカップルのセックスの演出装置に使われてるかと思うと余計にげんなりします。
If I had had any of my coffee left, I'm sure I would have choked and spat it out by now. Hey,
何
Hirasaka.
ですか？
Looking entirely unapologetic, Hirasaka moved her money offerings to her coin
お兄
purse.
様は何飲みますか？
Drinks on me. I was listening the whole time, after
じ
all.
ゃあここは、いえ、ブラックでお願いします。
You want a black coffee? I thought you like it sweet. Why did she change to coffee? Coffee would just make her run to the bathroom in this cold. I didn't feel like saying that, so along with my new drink, I bought Hirasaka's and came back.
どうもです。
I don't know. I love coffee though, and like I mean, I'll drink it when it's hot, but I like it especially when it's cold too. Hirasaka rolled the hot can between her hands, seemingly unsure as what to do with it. Maybe her hands were numb since she seemed to be warming them up with the canned coffee. My attention drifted to her thin, pale, but pretty fingers. She didn't always look like she had a notable upbringing, especially when she was holding her guitar. But right now, at first glance, she definitely looked like a young lady from a well-to-do
それ
family.
でお兄様がココアなのは当てつけか何かですか？
Seeing the hot chocolate with milk in my hands, Hirasaka's eyes narrowed. I just had coffee, so I don't want more. Do you want to
い
trade?
え、こっちでいいです。ココアは甘ったるいですから。
Hirasaka looked away irritably, but was she really glad she didn't go with hot chocolate? I like hot chocolate. What's wrong with hot chocolate? Anyways, I'm surprised you felt like singing in the cold. No matter how much I wanted a diversion, I would want to stay inside as much as
さす
possible.
がにこの寒さだと思ったよりもやる気が出なかったので、私もこれからは控えようかと思ってます。
The way Hirasaka was sipping on her coffee definitely didn't look like she was enjoying herself.
クリスマスにお兄様がどっか行ってしまうなら、この辺で一人うさばらしに歌ってもよいかと。
What do you mean to feel
あ
better?
の人も言っていたけど、プライドの問題です。まあ、相手がハスノさんなら納得といったところですが。
Saki, huh?
どうしたんですか？
Actually, I'm more worried about you singing by yourself on Christmas Eve. What if some weirdo approaches with something other than your music in mind?
わざわざ雪が降るかもしれないのに来ますかね？
It wouldn't be strange if they did. Hirasaka was a looker, and with the season being what it was, you could expect there to be guys trying to hit on her.
それが心配だったら、私と一緒に過ごしてくれますか？
Ooh, spending Christmas together. When you say it's a matter of pride, you're just competing with Club Prez, aren't you? Is it okay to spend Christmas with me because of that?
過ごしたくない相手と一緒にいたいなんて普通は思いませんよ。
Yeah, normally.
確かに私はほとんど面識のない男の部屋でシャツ一枚になるような女ですけど。
I think you already did that. I know how to try my best not to remember that time. To be honest, I think maybe it would be nice if everyone was together. Hey, what's with that look? Hirasaka gave me an extremely annoyed look. I could tell she was going to make fun of me.
それはつまり全員まとめて相手にしたいと。お兄様はハーレム願望でもあるんですか？
Who knows, who knows. No, do you think I have the guts to do that? I thought she would say that's true,
あ
but...
ってもおかしくないですよね。
Oh,
どち
yeah.
らかというと解消というより一人に決められない浮気症的なだらしなさですが。
That hits a little close to home. Hey,
もしも彼女ができても雨に濡れた子猫がいれば懐に入れて連れて帰りそうです。にゃー。
meow. I wasn't expecting that. So the kitten I really had taken home. No, I would think I would think about what I should
うー
do.
ん、そうですか。
She didn't believe me at all.
大体ですね。みんな一緒がいいとか、私が心配だから相手をしてくれるとか、そんなこと言ってて、蓮野さんは怒らないんですか？
Who cares about Hasuno? She would, no doubt about it. Normally, she would just emit a cold aura as she smiled, but if it went too far, she would rage like a normal person. She threw pillows and stuff. She got mad like it was a fight between siblings.
怒らせて楽しみたいんですか？
Maybe sometimes. I'm not warped enough to be able to enjoy her getting mad at me. I did enjoy seeing her a little pouty, though. Saki and I aren't in a normal man and woman relationship. I wouldn't say that I didn't mind her if I didn't exist, or that it didn't exist, but we definitely had a more significant relationship than
それ
that.
ってお兄様の言う兄と妹ってやつですか？
Yeah, Saki is very important to me as a sister, in some cases as important as my life. That wasn't a lie or exaggeration on my part. If I could save Saki by giving up my life, then I would choose that in a heartbeat. That's how important Saki
だ
was
け
to
ど
me.
実は血はつながってない幼馴染なんですよね。
That's right. Then what about Saki as a girl? My response to that question was on hold. I guess I couldn't complain if I were called an enemy of woman or stabbed. I was at least self-aware.
もしもクリスマス私と一緒に過ごしてくれた場合、蓮野さんの行為から逃げるための防波堤にされてるってことになるんでしょうか？
I don't mean to associate with you for my own convenience like
同じ
that.
ことです。そんな理由でクリスマスイブに女の子を誘うとかどうなんですか？
I'm sorry.
悪意がある分余計にたちが悪い。知ってますかお兄様？そういうのろくでなしって言うんですよ。
At least at those all too appropriate words, I sank down at the bench and
大
sighed.
体何がもっとたちが悪いって。そんな理由でもお兄様に選ばれたら私がそんなに嫌じゃないってところですよ。
Interesting. Still looking away from me, Hirosaka sighed in resignation, seemingly annoyed at herself. I wonder if someday I'm gonna get stabbed by a woman and die.
なんならいいところで刺しましょうか。
Hey, yo. I don't know if I'll take you up on that. Not yet. I'd rather honestly tell you what I've been silent about and have you hit me.
じゃあぜひ正直にどうぞ。なんか他にこうして私と一緒にいる理由があるんですよね。
I already said most of it, and just as you guessed, I've been troubling myself because of how I treat Saki. It's just convenient
だ
for
け
me.
どお兄様、蓮野さんのことは妹とか関係なく好きですよね。
Yeah, if it weren't for problems we both have, I think we would have become a couple. Those problems were just so big that they would have probably remain no matter what.
問題がなければ恋人同士になってるなんて当たり前じゃないですか。何を言っているんです？
The scales fell from my eyes at Hirosaka's words. That much was true.
そこはいいです。で、なんで私なんですか？あまり比べたくないですけど、あの女のそばでもいいじゃないですか。
I learned some things about Club Prez's nightmare recently, so it's hard to be with her. After learning those things, I wasn't thick-skinned enough to be able to be alone with Club Prez and look like nothing had happened.
ああ、そのあたりは私の時と一緒なんですね。
Yeah, although with you, I charged through, destroying everything, so I hardly saw anything. Hirosaka nodded as she listened to me, but it seemed like I had still seen things that were embarrassing to her. Well, you're in a perfect position to put distance between me and Saki and Club Prez. There probably weren't any girls who would have liked to hear something like that.
お兄様、他に友達いないんですか？
But what came back was a pitying gaze. I do, but I would rather be with a cute underclassman than a guy. What would happen if I complained to Tetsuya? That wasn't a problem as guy friends, but most of his replies would be bragging about Asahi. There was a chance that Club Press might hear about it through Asahi. When I thought of that, wait.
やっぱりお兄様はいつか女に刺されて死ぬと思います。
What? Eh? Is that something to say while sighing?
全然そう見えないくせに何ですか？蓮野さんが心配してる気持ちが少しわかりました。このろくでなし。可愛いとか。
Why are you complaining about a guy calling you cute, huh? Even though her tone and attitude were calm, seeing the red face Hirosaka was so rare that it was a little hard to react to her. I didn't know what to do, but she stood up and reached her hand out to me.
寒いです。どっか行きましょう。
Yeah, let's do that. If she wasn't gonna sing anymore, then there was no reason to linger in front of the station in this cold any longer. I took her hand and stood up.
今回はその子を選ぶのね。
Oh, interesting. Hi, Maya. How you doing? Suddenly heard Maya's voice. Next thing I knew, Maya was standing a little ways away from the crowd, just beyond the scattering people. Immediately, the presence of our surroundings grew weak. I felt like only the three of us had any color here. A thick, sweet smell permeated the air around us. It was so dense that it clung to us and couldn't be shaken off.
そうやって手を取って今度はどこまで歩けるかしら。一緒に行く相手はその子でいいの？
How far you can go like that? I wanted to call out to Maya, but my throat was so dry that my voice wouldn't come out. I was holding hands with Hirosaka, who was right next to me, yet I couldn't feel her presence, even though the palm of her hand was right here.
話さないでいられるかしら。ただ手を取っただけなの？それともそれ以上の気持ちがあったの？
Well, I am trying to go down her route, so I'd hope my feelings are a little bit stronger than that. Maya giggled. My surroundings gave way to a dark forest. That sweet smell intermingled with the smell of the trees. Oh wow, she just like yanked me out of what I was doing. You hope it goes well this time, huh? Maya giggles as if looking down on me.
その手を離さないでね、お兄ちゃん。
My world collapsed. The surroundings became warped in darkness. Dun-dun-dun. So we haven't seen this before, right? Okay, it says we can skip, right?
すいません、ハスノさん。どいてください。
Okay. Okay, I guess we kind of already went through that. And then something like this happened before. Okay, so I think we are... Gotta remember where we are. Hirosaka, who had been standing behind Saki, pushed her out of the
こう
way.
いう人は言葉で言う前にこうしないとダメです。
Just as she said, she raised her fist and slammed it into my cheek as hard as she could. Ah, Hirosaka, what are you doing? She hit me so hard my vision went white for a
何
moment.
じゃありません。しっかりしてください。バカですか？いいえ、バカです。何してるんですか？
Hirosaka shot at me without unclenching the fist she'd used to hit me. What are you?
わけのわからない妄想でハスノさんを泣かせて、先輩はそんなにだらしない。しっかりしてない人だったんですか？失望しました。
That's because She hit me again, interrupting me. She seemed to be comfortable with physical violence. My head didn't move even though it hurt like hell and made me dizzy. I could at least still see in front of me. Hirosaka was really mad and grabbed me by the collar.
人に偉そうに夢に逃げるなって説教してきたくせに、自分が今何をしてるのかも分かってないなんて最低だって言ってるんですよ。平坂さん。
Yeah, freaking Hirosaka is scary.
私が夢でいい、これでいいって言った時、人の気も知らないでって怒りましたよね。私ばかり逃げてずるかったんですか？妬んでたんですか？
You're
そんな理由
wrong.
で私を連れ戻しに来たんですか？
My head hurt. I remembered going to wake Hirosaka up. What was I thinking then? Why did I think it was wrong to run away into a dream? When I tried to remember the reason my head hurt like it was being split open from the inside.
何が違うんですか？私たちには見えもしない妹がそんなに欲しかったんですか？大事だったんですか？
That's not what... Thinking that I was arguing with her, Hirosaka clenched her fist again.
平坂さん、もうやめて。
Before Saki could stop her, Hirosaka, who had lowered her head, unclenched her fist and let it roll to her side. Still holding my collar, she slumped down in front of me as I sat on my bed.
結局逃げたかったんですか？現実嫌なんですか？何でも望みの叶う夢の方がいいんですか？
Is this technically after that dream we just had with Maya? I don't know. No, I can't go back that far, unfortunately. Drops fell onto the floor.
最後まで夢に逃げなかったのは先輩たちがいたからなんですよ。あの女は頭にくるし、先輩は変な人だし。だけど二人とも私を相手に付き合ってくれて、だからこっちに戻ってもいいと思ったのに、どうして先輩が。 逃げようとしてるんですか。
Hirasaka's words shook me to my core.
しますよ。
Felt like I could almost hear something with my splitting head. Could remember something with my splitting head. It's a dream, so it doesn't matter what. I was confused. What was wrong with dreams? What were dreams anyway? I was running away. What was with the place I was running to? No, where was I running to? Why was this wrong? I didn't know anymore, but I did know that something wasn't right.
かっこよくなくても、憧れとかそういうのもなくても、だけど頼れる相手でいて欲しかったのに、その先輩までこんなんじゃ。現実なんてやっぱりどうでもいいんです。楽しくないです。
Damn, okay. She is crying. But yeah, I feel like Toru is really the one that keeps all the girls together. I feel like if he's starting to lose hope, if he's starting to break down, I feel like everyone else around him probably won't be able to make it either. He's definitely like the glue that holds everybody together. So for you to be like this makes me think that even reality doesn't matter. It isn't fun.
結局私は誰も頼れないんですか。
So I definitely feel like Toru has been somebody that, is and isn't reliable, right? They always kind of gaslight him into being this kind of huge pervert, and I'm not saying he isn't a little bit perverted at times, but I think they make it worse than it is. But he is overall, I think, of a reliable person. I think he does truly care about each of the girls around him, and he does try his best to make sure that they're all supported and taken care of when he can. No, that's not right. Why was I even making Hirasaka cry? Why was this happening? I didn't intend to do that. Saki, I can't remember. I know something is strange.
兄
Saki calling me that made me confused again. Who is my sister? Why do you call me? Where is Maya? Maya was gone. That really scared me, but also sounded right for some reason.
さん、何を言ってるんですか。先輩に妹なんてハスノさんしかいないじゃないですか。
Saki is my sister, but Maya goes to the same school as you guys. Even her uniform is. Even as I said that, I knew it wasn't possible, but at the same time, it felt like it was true. Oh yeah, this is where she kind of like just appeared at the school, and kind of after that. Okay, Hirasaka is Saki. My only little sister is Maya.
ハスノさんだけです。
Then why is Maya? Hey Saki. I knew there would be no going back if I said this, but even though I didn't want to admit it, my mouth moved on its own. Maya dead? At those words, Saki nodded, her eyes still filled with tears. But I don't know if Maya is dead. I didn't see her dead. How could she be?
覚えてるでしょ。マヤちゃんは帰ってこなかったのよ。
Didn't come back.
あの時夜中二人ともいなくなって、何日もして兄さんだけ帰ってきて、マヤちゃんは結局戻ってこれなくて。
Sorry, I'm not trying to skip this. I just want to see. Okay, this is, I believe, new dialogue, right? I mean, we're getting a lot more focus on Hirasaka. I'm just trying to remember. Did they ever mention that they kind of like left at night and after several days? Like this seems like new information to me, but they might have said this before and I just don't remember. So it sounds like they kind of ran away together. I'm just trying to like slowly piece together what happened in the forest. Like they kind of left for a few days, only he came back. She couldn't leave the forest for some reason. I'm hoping throughout the route to kind of get an idea of what happened, and then once we get more maybe into her route, we'll get like the full story. That's what I'm hoping.
なのに目を覚ました兄さんはマヤちゃんがそばにいるって言って、まるでそうやって振る舞って、そのうちどんどん目を覚ましている時間が短くなっていって。
So I actually do feel bad for Maya. Like I've been kind of trying to say is I don't think she is the villain in this story. I really don't believe that. I think she just kind of acts maybe the way she does to kind of build up Toru in a way. Because I think she wants him to be happy, and she knows like she has to kind of be the villain to kind of get him to be the knight in shining armor that some of the girls want, right? I actually think that she really does care for him, and I think the circumstances that happened to her are probably really sad, and I'm really curious to know, but I kind of want to wait. I do like when they throw little bits of information, though, in between, so I can kind of build up a theory of what I thought happened. Only I came back from the forest. Maya wasn't with me.
私たちといることが夢だなんて言い出して、眠っている時が本当だって言って、そんなわけないのに逃げて。
But I still had memories of being with Maya. When I woke up, Maya was definitely there, but I also remembered Saki's crying face.
先輩、しっかり思い出してください。私もハスノさんもここにいます。あの子は本当にいるんですか？
Maya was. Even though she had been there just a second ago, now there's no trace of her. Ah, what was that? Why? What happened? Why was I able to accept that? Even though I should have remembered, I couldn't at the moment, even though I knew it was true. Maya isn't there. She isn't here. I was finally able to accept that. In an instant, the world grew dark, like the inside of a forest. Okay, so we can skip that. Is that kind of where Maya disappears? Okay, so this is where Maya like finally disappears for real. Okay. I woke up. Instead of the dirt of the dark forest was lying in my bed in my apartment. When I sat up, tears spilled from my eyes. Even though I tried to hold them back, the tears wouldn't stop as my voice crept out of my trembling throat.
先輩、やっと起きたんですね。
Okay. I'm pretty sure this is new, because I think it would have been Yayoi that was the one who woke us up and everything. I know it wasn't that long ago, I'm just trying to remember. Because I'm kind of like skipping events that happened in between, so like the order of things was all messed up, but I kind of wanted to show a few of these events. I wanted to really just focus on the ones that involved, you know, Hirasaka here. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here. I know we're not quite into her route yet, but I wanted to at least like try to get pretty close. But I wanted to have these moments where we kind of see how things would be like if she was the one comforting us versus last time when it was Yayoi kind of being there. But I already knew Hirasaka's route was going to be kind of sad. I mean, I got a feeling it was going to be. There's going to be some sad moments. And I mean, of course, with Maya, it was always sad. But anyways, we'll end it here. We're going to see where Hirasaka's route takes us. Hopefully we can get into it in the next episode. I think we should be able to. We'll see. But I'm curious how it's going to kind of diverge from the whole, like, Christmas event that happened. I think it's supposed to, like, something's supposed to happen in that moment, right? We'll see. Anyways, you guys, I'll go ahead and end it here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.